Hey guys, so Microsoft has released another product in their Surface range. I've talked about the Surface range before. I owned the Surface Pro 4 myself, but I always thought that the products were always very, very expensive. But they have released a much cheaper solution, and it's coming out and it's called the Surface Go. Now this is apparently a rival to the Apple iPad and Google's Chromebook. It is a small tablet. And it really is a consumption device, as you would imagine. They offer a keyboard and all that, but it is a consumption device in my eyes. It is, this isn't something that you'll be using for video editing or anything kind of major, but on the go, it should be good for Word, Excel, and kind of basic office tasks, browsing the web, and watching media. Now, this is going to retail at $400. I believe in the UK it's going to be about £380. And I must admit, I think that's quite an attractive price point. I really do think that's a good price when you consider that the Microsoft Surface range is quite expensive. Now, I realise that for a few hundred extra, you could get a lower spec Surface, a Surface Pro or whatever, but I think this is pretty cool. If you look at it here, it apparently works with all the other Surface accessories out there, which are ridiculously expensive. But you can see what the idea is. It's basically a basic Windows tablet. And as you can see here, it works with all the Microsoft Office applications. And I think for a lot of people, this will do everything that they need. So you can see here, up to 9 hours battery, i5, that will depend on which option you buy. The lower price one doesn't have that. So this is the American website, and you can see here it's got the Surface Go signature type cover, and this is where Microsoft always screw you, and it's the same with Apple and other companies as well. But they charge $130 for the type cover. Now, I bought a type cover for my Surface Pro. It is a fantastic little device. It works great as a cover and as a keyboard. I really did love the keyboard, but there's no denying that it is very, very expensive. And the other thing there, the Surface Mobile Mouse, $35. So it looks nice, but I haven't tried it myself to see whether it is a good mouse. So if I jump over to the technical specs, tech specs. Okay, so you can see here the 10-inch Pixel Sense display. That's another trademark for whatever every company calls their display something different. 1800 by 1200 is the resolution, 217 pixels per inch, 3:2 aspect ratio, 10-point multi-touch. So you can either get a 64GB eMMC built in or a 128GB solid state drive. It has ports. It has one USB Type-C port, a 3.5mm headphone jack. It's got a Surface Connect port, which you need for the cover and all that. It's got the Surface Connect port and the Surface Type cover port, and it's got the microSD XC card reader. Intel graphics, HD graphics 615. You can get it in 4GB or 8GB. The 4GB one, which will come with the 64GB of storage, will be the one that's $400. There'll be a little bit more for the other version. And you can see here 5MP front-facing camera, 1080p. 8 megapixels at the back, 2-watt stereo speakers, single microphone. Now, let's not beat around the bush. Microsoft always charge a premium, just like Apple, just like Google does. And there are a lot of very cheap devices like this out there. There's a lot of cheap Windows tablets out there. Ones which cost less than half. If you go to Amazon.com, you'll see Windows basic tablets for like $150, $200. And they don't rip you off with the keyboard covers and things like that. But what I will say is that the keyboard cover works very well. And I also say that when you buy a Surface, yes, you're paying a premium. And I think for the other devices, it's hard to justify that premium because there's so many other alternatives with Lenovo and all these other companies out there. What I will say though is that at $400, this does make this a more attractive buy, more of an impulse buy for me. Lots of little things I always loved about the Surface was that the microphones were good, the webcams were really good, and these are areas that they normally scrimp on when you buy a cheaper model. So if you look on Amazon.com, you will see other Windows tablets. Some of them come bundled with a keyboard, and a lot of them just mimic what the Surface range is. They have the same design, the same kind of kickstand. They might only cost $200, so you're talking half the cost. But you are getting a Microsoft product. You are getting a refined experience, more so than some of these other cheaper companies coming out from China. And you will, get better accessories, as far as, not accessories, but minor parts that sometimes you forget about. As I said, the webcam, the speakers. I think the warranty is only 1 year, but I've criticised the Microsoft Surface range before. I had the Surface Pro. I really liked it. I had this one, the Surface Pro. But if you look at the Surface Book, the Surface Laptop, and all these different devices out there, they are incredibly expensive. I loved my Surface Pro. I really did like it. But for my needs at that time, I needed a laptop that could do video editing. And the Surface Pro isn't that. The Surface Pro is a premium tablet, a premium Windows tablet. But if it can't do everything that you want it to do, if you can't do video editing, if you can't do advanced tasks on something like a Surface Pro, as far as video editing that goes, then for me, someone in my position, the Surface Go kind of makes more sense. It's cheaper, I can browse the web, I can consume media, YouTube videos and all that, and it won't break the bank unless I start buying keyboards and mice and things like that. So I'll link to this page. You can check out for yourself, guys. As always, please let me know what you think about this. I think that Microsoft, for the first time, have actually priced a product at a decent price. So, yeah. But if you are just looking for a cheap Windows tablet, go out there. There's a lot of cheaper models out there. Half the cost. The keyboard will probably cost you $30, £30 instead of $100 or so. So you can save money. But for a Microsoft product, I think, this is one of the first ones they've released in the last few years where I thought, yeah, that's something I wouldn't mind buying myself. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a comment below and I'll speak to you all in the next one. Take care.